In a moment that seemed to suspend time, Dylan Wang's voice finally found its strength, an echo of sincerity that rippled across every screen and heart. Subscribe now to stay connected to this unfolding story. The air felt electric as he spoke, every word carrying the weight of honest emotion and a longing for clarity that resonated deeply with fans everywhere. He began tentatively, as if testing the waters before plunging into the depths of his feelings. "There's so much I've experienced, so much I've felt, but only now do I find the courage to speak publicly." His tone held both vulnerability and determination, a rare blend that drew listeners in closer, making them feel part of something profoundly personal. For countless admirers, hearing him speak so openly about Shen Yue was like unlocking a hidden chamber in their favorite tale. Suddenly every glance, every shared scene, every fleeting moment between them took on new resonance. Dylan's words painted images as vivid as the scenes he once filmed. "When I look at Shen Yue, I see more than a co-star, I see a person who has touched the core of my humanity. I see laughter and tears, kindness and strength, a spirit that has quietly and persistently inspired me." There was a pause, almost imperceptible, carried on the hush of a breath. In that silence, fans held theirs too, suspended in anticipation. He continued, his voice gaining confidence. "I've carried these feelings in private, uncertain how to voice them, fearful of misunderstanding, of altering what we share on screen. But watching the messages, the love and questions pouring in from you all, I realized that perhaps words, even imperfect ones, can do justice to my gratitude, my affection." It was an emotional confession rather than a confession. It wasn't about romance, it wasn't about declarations of love. Instead, it was about acknowledgement, respect, care. A recognition of impact, of bond, of connection. With deliberate calm, he said, "Shen Yue has been a guiding light in more ways than one. Her dedication, her kindness off camera, the sincerity she brings to every moment, it's been a privilege to work with her, to learn from her." The word privilege resonated. It was humble, honest, and remarkably grounding. Not grandiose, but deeply human. Every listener could almost see his expression, honest eyes, perhaps slightly downcast, voice soft yet steady. He added, "There are moments behind the scenes that I cherish, shared laughter over failed takes, exchanging stories during breaks, silent understanding when exhaustion weighed on us both. Such small moments, so ordinary yet profound, they reveal the quiet textures of connection that go unseen but linger in memory." Then, shifting tone, he shared how those moments shaped him, her perseverance in long hours of shooting, her gentle encouragement when I struggled with a line. "Those things built something in me. They reminded me that caring doesn't always need to be loud. Sometimes it's in a supportive smile, in reaching a hand, in listening." He spoke with clarity, portraying Shen Yue not as idol or romantic fantasy, but as human being, as someone whose kindness mattered deeply. As fans across platforms watched the video, comments flooded in. "He's always been so reserved, now my heart, this is the most genuine thing I've seen, I'm tearing up." The emotional impact was immediate and overwhelming. It wasn't about shipping them romantically, it was about appreciating sincerity, human warmth. This wasn't a PR moment, it felt authentic, raw, intimate. Dylan's voice softened further. "I couldn't continue without acknowledging her. If silence meant protecting what we share as colleagues, speaking up felt more honest, more real. So I speak now, out of respect, out of deep, quiet admiration." Each word tethered to authenticity. The phrasing mattered. Quiet admiration felt so poignant, because admiration isn't always loud, it can be soft, steady, unassuming. He went on to admit the internal struggle. "For so long, I asked myself, should I say something? Would it change things? But then I realized it's okay for things to change if change comes from truth, from appreciation, from genuine regard." It was a maturity beyond the usual fan-driven narratives. This wasn't a romantic reveal, but a moment of sincere recognition. He closed with gratitude. "Thank you all for listening. Thank you to Shen Yue, for being who you are. And thank you to every one of you for witnessing this moment with me. There was no flourish, no grand musical backdrop, only his voice, speaking quietly but clearly, the tone of sincerity ever present. As the video ended, the digital world erupted. Fans dissected every word, every nuance. On social media, hashtags trended, hashtag Dylan speaks up, hashtag quiet admiration, hashtag sincere words. Fan art blossomed, images not of romantic embrace but of two figures sharing a quiet smile, a shared script, a gentle moment. Comments ranged from, "This is so real, so tender," to "I respect him so much more now," to "They are such good friends, understanding each other." Critics noted the rare sincerity. In a world of leaks, rumors, staged reveals, this felt grounded. Articles framed it as a gentle moment of human connection, admiration over romance, a tribute to co-star friendship and creative synergy. Industry insiders speculated, could this reveal spark new creative collaborations? Would they choose to work together again, inspired by this mutual respect? Even without a romantic context, the emotional weight was undeniable. Many fans acknowledged that sometimes acknowledgement and gratitude are rarer and more meaningful than confessions of love. The tone was anti-dramatic, not tearful outpouring, but quiet strength, discreet warmth. Dylan's tone, phrasing, pacing, all contributed to a sense of genuine presence. He spoke as if sharing something he'd withheld, not because he was hiding, but because he wanted to be sure of his intent, sure of his words. In doing so, he brought fans into that space of careful consideration, making them part of the emotional process. Viewers remarked how grounding it felt. He didn't gasp her name, he didn't speak in hyperbole, he just spoke truthfully. That honesty resonated, prompting responses like, "I feel closer to both of them," appreciating the person behind the persona. This moment transcended typical fandom dynamics. It wasn't about, are they dating, but, what does acknowledgement feel like? It sparked conversation about healthy admiration, about expressing respect without expectation, about recognizing someone's impact on your life and wanting them to know. Some fans shared how Dylan's words inspired them personally. One wrote, "I've been meaning to tell a friend how much they've helped me. Now, I will." Another said, "This taught me that you don't need dramatic declarations to matter, you can speak softly and still deeply." On talk shows and interviews following the video, hosts praised the understated sincerity. Dylan, in follow-up appearances, added little, "I'm grateful, she deserves it, sometimes the best things are the simplest words," avoiding embellishment, keeping that tone of quiet humility. Meanwhile, Shen Yue, according to social media updates, responded with warmth. Though not scripted or sensational, her post conveyed appreciation, a shared behind-the-scenes photo, a short note like, "Working with Dylan has been meaningful, thank you for your kind words." The reciprocity felt authentic, mutual respect shining through. Fans responded with a mix of joy and relief. This wasn't a dramatic ship, this was something else entirely. Connection, acknowledgement, humanity. Forums welcomed discussion. Is this the most mature fandom moment ever? I love how they showed us friendship and gratitude.